Hi everyone and welcome to a very interesting session of game development. So tell me, how are you? Is everything on track? Yes, that sounds good. So in this class, you are going to study something which is really interesting. And tell me, do you want to know what it is? Yes, I'll tell you. So in this class, you guys are going to study a ping pong AI game using Adacraft. Yes, so are you excited for that? Yes, so in order to create a project like Ping Pong AI game, you will have to be aware of the coding concepts behind it, right? Yes, so first let's get into that. So in this class, as I had already told you, you will be making a ping pong game using AI. So from here, you will explore the concepts of what are the main components of Adacraft, and also you will study what is algorithm, and after that you will study coding concepts like what is a motion block, what is if on edge bounce block, what is sequencing and events block, what is loops like forever blocks, and also you will study point in direction block. So tell me, have you heard these topics before? No? Is it entirely the first time that you are on such a topic? Okay, no problem at all. I'm there with you. Let me ask you something. Have you heard of AI? Yes, what is it? Yes, of course, artificial intelligence, right? Yes, and what is your idea on this AI? Yes, I'll tell you. See, yes, you know computers, right? Yes, and they are machines, right? Have you bothered? How does they think? The ability of a computer to think, learn, and simulate human like behavior. Let it be thinking, let it be perceiving, or let it be reasoning. All these actions, if a machine can perform, we call it as artificial intelligence. Yes, artificial intelligence means it's the ability of a machine to think like humans. Well, you know the examples of AI, right? Yes, and some of them are Sophia, Vyomitra, and so on, right? Yes, have you heard of them before? So, using these concepts of AI, today we are going to create a ping pong AI game. And can we get into that now? Are you ready? Yes, so first let's see the introduction to block coding. Have you heard of block coding before? Yes, okay. So, have you heard of algorithm? Okay, then shoot me with your ideas. What is your concept on algorithms? Yes, algorithm means it is a step-by-step process, right? Yes, a step-by-step process which converts an input into an output is called as an algorithm, right? Yes, just have a close look onto the screen. Yes, you can see a mom and her cute little daughter over there, right? Yes, and this mom is giving instructions to her daughter on how to brush her teeth. But just look at the instructions that she had given. Can you notice there's something? Well, what's it? Yes, that's it. The order is jumbled, right? Yes. So will she get the desired output with such an instruction? Never, right? Yes, that's why we say that the order of something is important. So here comes the importance of algorithm. See, algorithm means it is a step-by-step process that converts an input into output. So every actions taking place in our day-to-day life follows certain algorithm or step-by-step process. I hope my point is clear to you, right? Well, now we have learned what is algorithm, but have you heard of the term coding? Yes. How is computer performing task? Yes. See, giving step-by-step instructions to a computer to do a particular task. Okay? See, if we want to perform some task, we will give it a step-by-step instructions, right? Or procedures to do it, right? So this is what called as coding. So now are you excited? Yes, then why we are wasting our time? Let's get into that now. Yes. For that, the only thing that you will have to do is to follow my instructions. So now it's your time. Or if you please open your Adacraft. Have you opened it? Good, that sounds good. Great. So now it's time to start. So are you familiar with the components of Adacraft? Let me ask you, are you familiar with it? No problem. I'll start it for you. For that, the only thing that you will have to do is to follow my instruction. So now take a Google Chrome and search for Adacraft. Yes, then go for the first link and then choose Create. Then start creating without online saving. Choose this option. Then you will appear in your Adacraft platform, right? Yes, I have reached there. What about you? Have you reached there? Good. So now it's time to start. Before that, let me ask you, are you familiar with the components of Adacraft? No? Okay, no problem at all. I'm here to teach you. So first, once you open the platform, you can see a star over there, right? Yes, in the right side. Yes, what is that? Okay, well, in Adacraft, we call it as a sprite. Okay, the sprite means the character or the group of characters that you use in Adacraft will be called as a sprite. Okay, so here the sprite is a star, right? Yes, and the star is being presented over a white screen, right? Yes, so now I'll change it for you. Okay, and the way that I change it is a suspense. I'll teach you in this class later. We'll see what happens once I change the stage. Yes, now the star appears on a blue sky, right? Yes. Do you know how that happened? And do you know what is it? Well, the stage or the area where the sprite is being presented is called as the backdrop. So earlier case it was a white screen and now I changed the backdrop to a blue sky. Okay? Yes. So that is what a backdrop is. Simply backdrop means the area where our sprite is being presented. Okay? And the character or the group of characters is called as the sprite. I hope it's clear for you, right? Yes, good. Yes, so now can you see an arrow like this over there? Yes, just click that. Yes, that is what called as the presentation mode. So once you click on it, you can view things like this and Adacraft. Is it clear for you? Good. So now can we learn how to duplicate things? Okay, see, now there is only one star which is being presented in the blue sky, right? So now see what happens once I click the duplicate option. Wow, one more star appears, right? Yes, so if I wanted more copies of the same sprite, I right click on it. Can you see that? Wow, more number of sprite appears, right? Yes, see, in Adacraft, it is possible to duplicate things, that is to get the same to get many numbers of the same thing, that is to get the copies of the same thing. You can use the duplicate option. For that, simply you will have to right click on it and then select the option duplicate. You will get more copies of the same sprite. Just try it out, all of you. Have you got it? Good. So now if the sprite is unwanted, that is if I don't want it, I will have to delete it off, right? Yes. So do you guys have any idea how is it being possible? I'll tell you. Can you see a dustbin icon here? Something like a delete tool? Yes. So click on that and then choose the option OK. You see what happens? Yes, one sprite got deleted, right? Yes, so if we again wanted to delete more copies, just right click on it and then select delete. Just right click on it and then select OK. Have you done it? Good. So now in the beginning of the session, I had changed the backdrop from a white screen to a blue sky, right? And are you interested to learn how is the addition of sprite and backdrop being possible? Okay, come, let's explore that now. See, in order to add a sprite, you have to click on the sprite panel, okay? Four options appears in front of you, okay? The first option means it is a search from the library, okay? And the second option means just right click on it and see. Here's the second option is a painting tool. Here you can paint your own sprite. So once you click on that, you see that? Yes, so now if you want, you can use the painting tool to paint the things you want, okay? Yes. Okay, and if you don't want that, you can click on the delete icon and delete it off. And then the third way is a magic tool, something like a random option which computer provides you. So let me click on it and see what happens. You see that a diver appeared in the blue sky, right? Yes, was it taken by me? Never, I haven't taken any diver, right? But it appears. How is that? Well, that's using that surprise option or the third option, which is like a magic tool. And the fourth option is to upload from the system. Okay, so here if you have already the downloaded images of your sprite, you can upload it from your system, and that is the fourth way of adding the sprite. So this same way, so using the same ways, you can add backdrop also. So first click on the backdrop panel. Yes, you see the first icon, that is to search, right? Yes, so once you click on that, you will go to the Adacraft library, providing you infinite number of backdrops, and you can choose your backdrop from there. And the second option is that you can paint your own backdrop. So I'll show you how is that being possible. Wow, you see that? And now what happens is that I can use the painting tools to paint the backdrops I wanted. Okay, yes, and if I don't want that, I can delete it off also. Have you seen that? So now the third option is something like a magic tool. That is the option which I had already mentioned, the surprise which is provided to you by the computer. And once you click on that, you will get a random backdrop in the view. Well, have you seen that? That's really great, right? Yes. So, and finally, the fourth option is to upload from the system. Okay, that is, if you already have downloaded images of the backdrop, you can upload it from your system. So, these are the four ways by which you can add your sprite and backdrop. I hope it's clear to you. So now we are going to study how to make our ball move in a ping pong game. Okay, so are you guys ready for that? Well, but tell me, is this sprites and backdrop that we needed in order to create a game like ping pong game? Never, right? So these are never the backdrop or the sprites. So which means now it's time to delete them, right? Yes, so now let's delete it off. It's your time, please do it with me. Okay, now it's time to start. So I'll tell you something. While creating a game in Adacraft, you'll have to go for two steps. The first is its designing part, and the second is the coding part. Okay, so first, can you go for the designing part? Well, let's start. So tell me, what will be the sprite in case of a ping pong game? Yes, we are using a group of sprites here, okay? So now do it with me. So if you please click on your sprite panel, choose the first option, which is to search from the Adacraft library and then search for a ball. Well, that's in the library first, right? Yes, so take it from there. Have you taken it? Good. So now it's time to add the second sprite, okay? So in case of a game like a ping pong game, you will be having here three sprites, okay? And the first is a ball, the second will be a line, and the third is a paddle. Okay, is it clear? I hope yes. The first sprite is already being added, right? So well, now it's time to add the second sprite, which is a line. Okay, so for that again, or if you please click on the sprite panel, click the first option, which is search from the Adacraft library and search for a line. Okay, have you got it? Good, great. So the two sprites are set now, right? Yes, not only that, we have one more sprite, right? So can we add that now? Well, come, let's do that. So go for the Adacraft library again. Click on the first option, which is to search from the Adacraft library and then search for a paddle. Well, I get it. What about you? Have you got it? Good. So now the designing part, which include the addition of sprite, is set ready, right? Yes. But we haven't add any backdrop to the game. Have you noticed that? Yes. So here I'm going to add the backdrop now. For that again, click on the backdrop panel, choose on the first icon, which is to search from the Scratch library. Yes. And now go and search for a neon tunnel. I got it. What about you? Have you got it? Yes, it's your time. Please do it, all of you. Good. So now can we start coding? Yes, so if you please click on the ball because we are going to code for the ball now, okay? Yes. So, have you heard of sequence of statements? No? Okay. Sequence of statements means it is the instructions in order, okay? So if you wanted to give the steps in order, you will have to follow a sequence for that, okay? So now here, if I want to start a program, that is, if I want to mark the beginning of an event in Adacraft, I will always have to go to the event block for that, okay? So now it's time to click on the event block, those yellow colored blocks with a bump at the top. Okay, just click on that. Have you clicked it? Good. And now drag and drop the first option, that is when green flag clicked. Yes, these are used as starters in a program, okay? Yes, so once they are triggered, they have the capability to execute or run the blocks under it, okay? Yes, so it's your time. So if you please click on the event block and then choose the option when green flag clicked, then drag and drop it to the algorithm part. Have you done that? Good. So here, do you know what I'm going to do? Yes, I want to make my ball bounce. Okay, by moving a step of 7, I wanted to make my ball bounce. When it will bounce, yes, if it touch on the edge. Okay, so that is the game which I'm going to create now. Okay, so can we move further? Okay, good. Yes, well, hear this from me now. If I wanted to move my ball in any direction, yes, something related to movement, right? Yes, then I will have to go to the motion block for that, okay? Motion blocks means every actions of the sprite, if it's related to movement of the sprite, you will always have to go to the motion block for that, okay? And from the motion block, you will have to choose the option point in direction, okay? So this will help you to turn in any direction that you want it, okay? If I give 45, the ball will be inclined in a diagonal manner, okay? You see that clock under it? If I give 90, you see that? It will be in a right angle manner, okay? Yes, so now I will adjust it to 45. It's your time, please do it all of you. Have you done it? Good. Yes, so now as I already told you, I wanted to make the ball move and once it touch on the edge, I want to make it bounce, right? Yes. So here, if I wanted to repeat an action again and again, that is, if I have to repeat an action with zero end continuously, I will have to use the concept of loops which is being available in the control block, okay? So control blocks include loops like forever. That means an action that you're doing will be repeated again and again. These types of loops will be having zero end, okay? So now it's your time. If you please go to the control block and choose from there forever loop. Well, have you taken it? Good. So now you are set ready till here, right? Yes. So if I wanted to move the ball, which is the option that I will have to go for? Wow, you said it right. I had to go to the motion block for that, right? Yes, and from the motion block, which block will I have to choose? Yes, here you can see an option like move 10 steps, right? Yes, so once choose that, your sprite will be moved by a step of 10. Okay, but I'm going to change that number from 10 to 7. This is enough. Well, it's your time now. Or if you please go to the motion block and choose from there the first option, which is move 10 steps, and then change the number from 10 to 7. Have you done it? Good. So you're set ready, right? So now hear this from me, okay? If I wanted to make my ball bounce, that is, if it touches on the edge, it have to come back. Well, how will I do that? Again, from the motion block, there is a block like if on edge bounce. Can you see that? Yes, just drag and drop that to the algorithm part. Have you done that? Yes, the purpose of this block is that it checks whether the sprite touches the edge, and once it touches the edge, it will bounce it back. So this is what the use of if on edge bounce block is, okay? So now it's your turn. Also, please go to the motion block. Then choose from there if on edge bounce. Then drag and drop it to the algorithm part. Have you done that? Good, that sounds good. So now you're all set, ready with the card, right? Yes, so which means now it's time to play the game. Are you guys ready for that? Yes, good, great. Yes, click on the green flag, all of you, and go to the presentation view. Yes, you saw that. The ball moves a step of 7 and once it touches the edge, it bounces back. Can you see that? Isn't it really interesting? Yes, so now it's your time. If you please click on the green flag and see that. Yes, have you seen that? Yes, I'll show you again. Click on the green flag. You see that? Once the green flag is being clicked, the ball will be pointed in the direction of 45. Yes, and it continues to move with a step of 7, and once it is touching the edge, it's bouncing back, right? Yes, have you got that? Isn't it really interesting? Yes, so now it's time to summarize. So now tell me, what are the lessons that we have learned in this class? Yes, good. So in this class, you have studied how to make a ping pong game using AI, right? Yes, you learned a ping pong AI game. And here, first you studied what is artificial intelligence. Well, now tell me, what is the concept on AI? Yes, it is the ability of the machines to think, sense, or simulate human-like behaviors, right? Yes, let it be like learning, perceiving, thinking, etc. Do you remember what I had told you? Yes, there I had shown you examples of Sophia, etc. Do you remember that? Great. Then we learned the Adacraft platform and the components of Adacraft, right? Yes, so first we learned what is a sprite. So now tell me, what is a sprite? Yes, you said it right. The character, the group of characters is called as a sprite, right? Yes, so here, in case of this ping pong game, we use several sprites like ball, paddle, line, etc. And do you remember what is a backdrop? Yes, good. The area, right? Yes, the area where the sprite is being presented was called as the backdrop. So in case of a ping pong game, we use the backdrop like a neon tunnel. You remember it? And there were 4 ways of adding a sprite and backdrop, right? Yes, do you remember that? Good. The first way was to search from the library, and the second way was to paint, right? So if you're a good artist, if you're good at painting, of course you can go for this option. Do you remember that? Yes. And the third option is something like a magic tool, a surprise option, which is randomly provided by the computer, right? Yes. And the fourth option is to upload from the system. That is, if you already have downloaded images of the sprite or the backdrop, you can take it from the, or you can upload it from the system, right? Yes. So like that, there were 4 ways of adding a sprite and backdrop. And if you wanted any unwanted sprite, you can use this delete tool to delete it also, right? Yes. And not only that, you learned how to duplicate the number of sprites, right? Yes, you remember that. Good. So simply by right click and using the duplicate option, you are able to increase the number of sprite. That is, if you want to increase the same copies of the sprite, you can right click and then click the option to duplicate. Do you remember that? Good. And finally, we learned how to create a game like ping pong using Adacraft. So here you come to know about several blocks, right? Yes. So first we explored what is event block. That is, if you want to mark the beginning of an event or if you want to start a program, you will go to the event block. And here we learned when green flag clicked, right? Yes, they were used to run a program. Do you remember that? Good. So later we learned motion block. That is, every actions of the sprite related to movement will be controlled by the motion block, right? Yes. So from the motion block, we learned blocks like move 10 steps. If you wanted to move a step of 10, then we learned blocks like point in direction. That is, if you wanted a sprite to look into a particular direction, you'll go for the option which is point in direction, right? Yes. And finally, you learned if on edge bounds. That is, if the sprite touches the edges, it would bounce, right? Yes, so for that, you use the option if on edge bounce. Do you remember it? Good. And finally, you learned about control block, and from that you used forever loop, right? Yes. So the purpose of the forever loop was that if you wanted to repeat an action again and again continuously with zero end, you will have to use a loop which is called forever, and that was being available in the control block. Do you remember that? Well, that sounds good. And using all these concepts, you built Ping Pong AI game, right? Yes, so we will continue the remaining part of this game in the next session. So make sure that you save the game, okay? For that, click on the files and then click save to your computer, okay? Yes. And then save it with an appropriate name. So we will continue the remaining in the next class. So was it interesting? Good. So that's all about the session. Thank you all for your participation. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care.